I forget I have to put a mic on. I've been wearing a mic for 30 years. I should know that I need to wear a mic. We're just going to put it over my hair today and call it a day. This is fantastic hair. My hair never curls, and I guess I'm going through like the menopause stuff, and so my hormones are changing again, so my hair is curling. I don't know if that's true or not. Don't debunk my false narrative, okay? Because I think it's true, and I like curling my hair. And I know that it's not the best, and I don't give a fuck. I feel like a rock star having a rock star. What? Morning, guys. How's everybody doing? I'm just getting everything sorted up here. Let me get some people tagged. Y'all know that takes me the longest. That takes me the longest to do. So there'll be this weird dead silence while you grab your coffee and get your journal out and wonder what the heck's going on. What's happening? It's Monday morning. It's time to be fabulous. How fabulous? Oh, very fabulous. How fabulous? Very fabulous. I tried something. Let's see if it works. It does not work. That's okay. I'll just type on the old school way. I really should put it like I can put it right here, and then it will look like I'm talking to you while I'm doing stuff, like breaking whatever the heck I just did. Okay, there it is. But I'm not. I'm really typing. Oh, well, this is nice. Facebook can help me. Thank you, Facebook. Oh, one day I'm going to learn all this technology. It's very exciting. Oh, I know. I didn't even know I knew that many. Huh. Wow. Here's a fun fact. I don't know how to use Facebook. Anyway, I got 5 minutes. So if you're going to sit here on 5 minutes and just laugh at me while I do stuff, I mean, please, by all means, have at it. But I'm just literally typing names at this point. And then I have somebody on. You're probably commenting. I can't even. I'm working. I can't see your comment. Good morning, Miss Lydia. Oh, look! I said your name aloud, and it popped up on my screen. What is that about? Do 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 do. I'm just tagging. I'm just tagging people, right? So I'm tagging Heidi. I know she's gonna watch later. I'm tagging Jean. I did Angie already and Kim. I got Machi on here. Just people that have commented on things from time to time, or if they've asked me, hey, did you oh, that's not how you spell that. Oh, could you tag me? I always forget about your stuff in the morning, and then I want to go back and get it. But like, I'm not on everybody's timeline. I know I'm not on everybody's timeline. I'm okay with that. Now, if you ask me to tag you, but we're not friends, because this is my personal account, because we're not friends, if we're not friends and you're just like, hey, could you tag me? The answer is gonna be no. So let's come be friends. Be friends. So if you're watching and we're not Facebook friends, I mean, we could be real friends. I like real friends. But if we're not Facebook friends, I can't tag you. And then you're like, oh my gosh, I always forget that it's on. Tag me so I'll get an alert when I wake up, because I'm not up at 3 a.m. my time when you do your thing. Then I'm okay. I make a little note, and I can't tag you because we're not friends. Won't you be my friend? So I hope you had a great weekend. I know down here, we are just cold, but it's warming up, and we're excited about that. And we're grateful that it's not like it was last year when we had like ice and like still things shut down. It's weird, right? This weird fear that we have. And I know it's not just a South Texas thing, whatever it is up in your neck of the woods. So we had several years back, we had like this really bad flood. And it did affect a whole lot of people. But like now for the past couple of years still, whenever like it looks like it's going to be really bad rain, people freak the fuck out because they're afraid it's going to be as bad. I mean, we didn't even have Noah's Ark flooding. Okay, like we all survived. Bad shit happened. I'm not trying to like downplay it, but people freak the fuck out. So last year we had really bad weather down here, really cold. And I know if you live up north, like that ain't cold. Bitch, we don't have trucks with salt to go plowing things around. We don't have plows either. And we don't have snow tires or the proper clothing to wear. Like we just don't have any of that stuff. And you're not used to it. Like if you're a skier, maybe you have some like ski gear, slap on your skis and whoosh, 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 or ice skates. Vroom, vroom. Like you could do it, but like probably not. But it's just different because you don't live there, right? You don't live there. You don't know how to like, it isn't that we're idiots. It's that we're ignorant. We don't know. You don't know what you don't know. So, but now like when it gets cold, businesses just shut down. It got to be 28, but we didn't have the wet weather that we had the year before. So there's no wetness to freeze. I'm not a meteorologist, as y'all could tell. I don't know a whole lot, but people just overreact. People just overreact. And I feel like they overreact more now that I'm grown than they did when I was younger. Surely it has nothing to do with the fact that I'm grown and I'm more aware of these things. I think we're all just soft. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Oh, we got 1 minute. We got 1 minute. So we're going to do a daily devotional. We're going to do a daily devotional. It's going to be awesome. We're going to love it. So I started doing a daily devotional. Like, I got a minute. I started doing a daily devotional about, it's like a month, y'all. I started doing a daily devotional about a month ago, live every morning for 2 reasons, right? 2 main reasons. Number one, keep me honest, make me do it. Because I know when I start my day with tiny baby Jesus, I feel better. Like it puts my head in the right perspective. When I have to go deal with all the stupid people in the world, I don't want to kill them. The Lord is like, listen, bitch, you just read about this today. Okay, fine. I'll stop. And if you were just offended that I said, that God said, listen, bitch, you should probably just stop listening now. Okay, so I feel like there should be a devotional for the heathen who curses, the potty mouth devotional. That's what we should have. Ooh, somebody quick, go grab that for me so they don't steal it. I'll tell my husband, he'll go get the rights to it. He's like that. Y'all, I have so many ideas in my head, and my husband's so amazing. He goes and gets the rights to them. I don't know how you do that. Anyway, I got nothing better to do. But we're doing a devotional. Good morning at 6 a.m. My name is Decker, and we're doing devotionals here in the morning. First reason, keep me honest. Make me go do the devotional. When I do the devotional, I feel better about myself. Second reason, number 2, I think there are a lot of people out there who would be intimidated by doing a daily devotional. Like they're kind of Christ curious, but like that met some shitty people at church, and they're like, I know church people. I know church people. And they do. And there are some shitty people at church. There's some shitty people at your job. There's some shitty people in your family. Like people are people. That's the issue. But it keeps you from church. Now, the crappy people at Walmart or at your grocery store or at Target, they don't keep you from there. They might keep you from going to that one or going to that lane, but they don't keep you from shopping. Why is a crappy person keeping you from church? Good night. On like the street just down the road from me, like in walking distance, even in the ice. It's 4 churches. One's bad, walk out and go to the next one. But anyway, so we don't go to church. But I think people are kind of curious, like they want to believe that God is a good person and not these shit for all people that they've met. So I was like, oh, I'll do a little devotional and show them. Here I am. It's really big of me, right? Kind of big-headed. We've been doing a lot in our devotional about like not being about you and being about God. My goal is to draw people in so they can go find it for themselves, not to be like the cool, hip devotional gal. Waka waka. Anyway, good morning, Tiffany. So anyway, we're doing a devotional. And I got this one. It's Who I Am in Christ. It is the version by Lynn Woods. This is a very popular name of daily devotionals and workbooks and Bible study guides and everything. It's a pretty popular topic. Apparently, people are wanting to know, who the hell am I? How does God see me? Who knew? And so anyway, the one I'm doing is by Lynn Woods. And I got to be honest with you. if I were 10 years ago Christian, 5 years ago Christian, if I were that person that was still kind of Christ curious, one foot in, one foot out, all the kind of things, I probably would have done a couple of days of these and then I'd have walked away, because some of it's like super Jesus-y and it talks a lot about stuff that like, I'm like, oh, that's a lot. It's very deep. And I wouldn't have liked it. So I hope that if you're feeling that way, you're still sticking with me, and you're trying very hard to move through it. And I'm hoping that some of the things I'm saying are helping you to like grasp some of the like high thinking things that are in this book. Okay. So here's how we do the devotional here. I read to you like romper room, romper stomper bumper boo. Did y'all have that down here? Anyway, and I read to you like it's romper room, but I don't show you pictures because there aren't any. If there were, I would show them to you. And then there's like a little devotion part, and I read that. And then usually I ramble for a bit. And then there's a prayer. They give us a prayer. It's really nice. And then we leave and you journal. So if you don't have this book, it's okay. I'm going to read to you. The only thing you really need is something to write in. So we have a daily devotional. I got mine for free at some conference I went to. It had sticky dust on it. And you just need your journal, and then, you'll just write on the next page, right? So here's my yesterdays and here's what I wrote. And then here's my blank page that I'll write on today. And then if you're going to write something in a book, you're going to need something to write with. Okay. And so I keep my fun stuff in here. It's glittery, shocker. And then I have like my regular pen and my pencil. I have lots of writing utensils. Y'all have crossed the line. I bought Bible stickers. I did. I bought Bible stickers. I got 100 of them. And it's a lot of Bible stickers. And some of them are like super pretty. They're like a little, that's super pretty. Little, he's carrying the olive branch. He's the dove. Some of them have the like a little Bible verse, easy for me to say. And I like this one. Love them anyways. Anyway. I added an S to that. I changed the Bible. I didn't mean to do that. Some of them are just kind of like, like little wordy things. Be still, right? I don't know. Anyway, feeling blessed, never stressed, right? These fun little things. Anyway, I have 100 of them. I don't know what to do with 100 of them. So here's what I'm going to tell you. Do not write it in the chat. Hear me. Do not write in the chat. But if you want a sticker, if you send me, so if you hover over my little circle face, it's me and my husband, and it'll pop up a little thing about me, like be a friend or we are friends, you send a message. If you send me your address, I will snail mail you a sticker. How fun would it be to get a snail mail sticker versus a snail mail bill, or like, an offer to get a credit card that's 72% interest? You would get a sticker instead. So if you want a sticker, send me your address. Okay, that's it. Let's get started. Oh, I poked myself. Today we're talking about misidentification. I got some good misidentification stories. Saddle up. Let's get through this sucker. So we're reading out of Proverbs, and I'm going to read the Proverbs that it gives me, which is going to be the King James Version. I believe the King James Version. I can never remember. I believe they use the King James Version in this Bible. No, they use the NIV version. So the NIV version. Now, the NIV version, if you have a Bible at your house, is probably the NIV version. Okay. It's probably the NIV version. So I'm going to read this and I'm like, oh, yeah, that makes sense to me. Then I'm going to read you from the Message. And that's a big font. And I like the Message because the Message is a just very easy to understand translation of the Bible. Okay. That's all it is. Same thing. It's just easier to understand. So this one, I am going to read more than just Proverbs 3:5, which is what we're reading. We're reading Proverbs 3:5. And you've heard this before. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. And we hear that all the time. That is a refrigerator magnet. I bet it's in my scripture stickers. I bet it's in there. It is just a very common thing that you hear all the time. And so I'm going to read a little bit more. So I'm going to read a little bit more of Proverbs. I'm going to read Proverbs 3, and I'm going to read Proverbs so Proverbs is a book in the Bible. The Bible's a bunch of books. And then it's chapter 3. So we're like on chapter 3. And then this particular chapter is broken into like sub chapters. Like they have like a title to them. So I'm going to read the first little one. So I'm really going to read you Proverbs 3, 1 through 12. I'm going to read 12 sentences ish. Okay. So don't assume you know it all. That's the name. I'm reading from the Message. So the Message is a more like laid back version. Yeah, cool. Got it. Good friend, don't forget all I've taught you. Take to heart my commands. They'll help you live a long, long time. A long life lived full and well. Don't lose your grip on love and loyalty. Tie them around your neck. Carve their initials on your heart. Earn a reputation for living well in God's eyes and in the eyes of the people. Here's where we are. Trust God from the bottom of your heart and don't try to figure out everything on your own. Listen for God's voice in everything you do, everywhere you go. He's the one that's going to keep you on track. Don't assume that you know it all. Run to God, run from evil. Your body will glow with health. Your very bones will vibrate with life. Honor God with everything you own. Give him the first and the best. Your barns will burst. Your wine vats will brim over. But don't, dear friend, resent God's discipline. Don't sulk under his loving correction. It's the child he loves that God corrects. A father's delight is behind all of this. Ooh, so it's more. It is more than trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. It's a beautiful thing. And like, okay, we got to trust him, and we're not going to try to figure it out on our own. We listen for his voice in everything we do. And that's a really hard thing. Some people describe like hearing God as like, oh, I saw a sign, or it's my conscience is awake. Anyway, we could say yes-ish. How about that? We'll say yes-ish to that little voice in your head being God talking to you. That's yes-ish. Let's see where our devotional goes, and then we'll dive into rants. Try to keep it together. We got it. People and things get misidentified every day. The deadly coral snake your son just dispatched in the backyard is only a harmless scarlet king snake. Those are the red and black snakes that look alike. You are 0 for 5 this week in calling each of your neighbor's identical daughters by the right name. You shouldn't mess up your own kids' names. Can I get a witness? They're not twins. The armed robbery suspect, who was positively identified yesterday by a convenience store clerk, evidence discovered today has exonerated him. Why are we so wrong so often? Because our knowledge is limited and our memories are faulty. And sometimes because we heed the world's advice to follow your heart. I feel attacked. This explains how we misidentify ourselves spiritually. Instead of learning and trusting what God says, our hearts forget what is true, then whisper, here's what seems true. Here's my truth. It's not your fucking truth. There's the truth. I've lost friends over that statement, by the way. Here's what seems true. No wonder we often call ourselves the wrong names. We effectively kill the truth about who we are, even as we let deadly lies slither around in our hearts and minds. Understanding who we are will never come from leaning on our own understanding. This is going to be another one where I'm going to have to make a post later after I journal about this a whole bunch and like write it out. Because I don't necessarily make a connection to the text and being the misidentification. But we're talking about self-misidentification, right? What do I say that I am myself? Well, I might say, I'm a loser. I can't ever get a good man. I'm just bad with money. Like those are things that we say about ourselves that are misidentifications. And as you start to repeat those things, you will self-fulfill your own prophecy. If you say, I'm really bad with money, if that's what you say, you don't do anything to try to change it. You don't go back to the beginning to try to get good at adding and subtracting. Like when you just say, I'm really bad at money, you will subconsciously, I believe, do things that are detrimental to you being good with money. I'll stick with money this morning because I think a lot of people can relate to that. But you could say the same thing with relationships. You could say the same thing with cleaning your house. You say the same thing with exercise. You can say the same thing with anything. Okay. Once you start saying, I'm just bad with it, I just can't do it, that's what happens. And you will, because I'm not trying to get into psychology. I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychologist, but your ego is the thing that protects you, and your ego always wants you to be right. So when we think of somebody with a big ego, we think of something negative. Oh, yeah, stroke his ego. We all stroke our egos. And if you think you're bad with money, bad with relationships, bad with going to the gym, bad with your eating, whatever it is that you think you're bad at, your ego will make sure that you fail every single time so that you can be right that you are bad at that. That's a lot to wrap your head around. That might be even harder than the shit we just read. Okay. But I think maybe this is instead of listening to what God might have to say to me about being bad with money, I just listen to what everything around me says. How do I know I'm bad with money? Okay, let's see. I'm gonna use made up examples, but let's just use them. I know I'm bad with money because I'm 50 and I can't pay my rent. Oh my God, I have rent. I don't even have like a home that I own at 50. Like I'm still renting at 50. I know I'm bad with money because I see my coworkers all taking their 2-week vacation and going skiing in real snow. I'm seeing them go and take their grandkids, their kids to Disney World for the week. I'm seeing them do these things and I can't afford to do that. So obviously I'm bad with money. How do I know I'm bad with money? Because I never know like where my money went, right? These are all things that we might say, oh, I know I'm bad with money. I thought I had more money in the bank. Y'all ever play that game where you like, when they first had debit cards? Y'all remember first had debit cards? Yeah, I know. Some of y'all are laughing because you do. And some of y'all are like, oh my God, how old are you? I'm old. Mind your business. But you play the game of like, is it going to go through? Now, if you're playing that game today, I sound a little judgy. I'm not trying to be judgy. It's no fun to play the game of, is it going to go through? That's not a fun game to play ever. It wasn't fun in my 20s. It wasn't fun in my 30s. I don't think it would be fun now. It's not a fun game to play. Is it going to go through? And that would be like, oh, I'm bad with money. But if I leaned into God, help me be better with money. Like I am so bad with money. Like I need your help and guidance. And you just sat there in the quiet. You might hear yourself in your head. Maybe that's God. Maybe that's not. When's the last time you balanced your checkbook? Do you also have checkbooks? Hold on. Let me show you my checkbook. First off, it's super cute. It's got this little thing on here. Super cute. And then here's my register. Oh, I don't even have one in here. Here's my register. There it is. I don't even have a register in here. I do write checks, actually. Oddly enough, I do still write checks. But you know what I do is I go into my bank and I just check my balance. What's coming out and what's not coming out. And I have things that are on automatic payment. So I get my grandbabies get all these always speak positive things. That's what God makes happen. It's hard for me. Okay. God doesn't make the bad things happen though either, Tiffany. God's not saying if you say you're bad with money, he's going to make you bad with money. But yes, I think if you ask him to help you, I think he totally comes. But being a positive mindset is going to change your ego so that you can be successful 1,000%. But anyway, I get in the morning, I check my bank account and I know what my money's coming out. And I have my bank account set up to where it will not process any payment that if it's going to go over. I've never had an overcharge in the past 6 years. Praise Jesus. Because I changed the way that I do things. So I have all these little things that have to come out. And when I'm looking to see, oh, can I afford that? My husband will have to remind me, when are all the books coming out for the kids? Because the babies all get different subscription boxes. And I'm like, oh, hold on, what's the month? And I got to go look and see so that I can take that out, because that matters, right? That matters. If it's $200 a month, it comes out 4 different times. Let's just say that's $25 each. I need to know that whatever's in there, there's going to be $100 less at some point because of those things. So maybe I don't have $700 to pay my down payment on my trip to Vegas. Y'all, I found a Jesus conference in Vegas. You know why? Because I really, really love Vegas, and I really, really love Jesus. Okay. Anyway, so here's how praying has worked for me. Okay. Here's how praying has worked for me. Hold on. I don't even know what is going on. Sorry. Sometimes on YouTube, I get weird trolls that send pictures of nudes. It's whatever. Okay. I digress. Jesus is like, here's some boobies for you. Thank you, Jesus. So anyway, so here's what happens. Here is how my prayers have been answered in the past. I'd make a joke about it, but I'm serious. I used to pray for some patience because, like, seriously, most of the time I just want to punch a bitch. Throat punch you? No. I want to break your nose. I don't want to punch you in the throat. I want you to hurt. I want you to be able to breathe and like have snot bubbles coming out your nose. I was a violent person. Get over it. And I used to pray for patience. And you know what God did? He gave me lots and lots of opportunities to be patient. And I said to myself, I'm good. I don't pray for patience anymore. I just say, I'm good. I feel like I'm patient enough. So I think if you were like bad with money and you're like praying, God, like really, really help me. He might, in a quiet moment when you're listening, he might be like, hey, open up your bank account and let's look at it. Looking at your bank account is scary if you're bad with money. I don't want to look at that. I don't want to know how much money I don't have. I'd rather play the game of, is it going to go through? Right? I know some of you are really good with money and you're like, oh my God, you're so dumb. Everybody has something, right? You're bad at relationships. You can't get to the gym. I just eat bad. I don't like vegetables. Oh my God, it gets on my nerves. Anyway, focus. So if you have this idea that you're bad with money and you start praying, hey, like really help me. I'm too old to be bad with money. I'm ready to like change my life. I want this. And maybe in that quiet moment, God's like, hey, open up your bank account. Like look at what you have. Write it down. What bills you have coming out. Like know what you're doing every day with your money. Right. And so you're like, oh, okay. So you got to follow. And then maybe you're just like walking around and you're shopping at the grocery store and the people in front of you are talking about Financial Peace University. And you're like, well, I want to know what that is. And you don't know what it is. You're not a Christian. You have no idea what the hell Financial Peace University is. You feel like I would like some peace with my finances. Is it like a school? And it's like a course, right? And it's a church-based course. And so you just like, you got to put on your brave shoes and say, excuse me, what are you talking about? And they're like, oh, the friend does this thing. And they'll like go off on a tangent. And you can just write it down, Financial Peace University. And then you go home and you go onto the Google and you Google it and you find out, oh, there's some places I can go and I can get this. And it's going to cost me $60 or $80 or whatever it is. And I'm like, shit, I don't have $60 or $80. But I bet you do. So there's going to be opportunities for you to improve yourself. So maybe that's what like we're saying here with like, don't lean on your own understanding, trust God with all your heart. If we read it in the Message, trust God from the bottom of your heart and don't try to figure it out on your own. Listen for God's voice in everything you do and everywhere you go. Everything you do, that's your money. And that's not about tithing. I ain't gonna fuck about tithing. That's not about tithing. That is about everything you do. So if you're like struggling to pay your bills, maybe you need to sit back and be like, okay, God, like how can I get better at this? And if you're like me and like even basic adding and subtracting is a challenge. I'm just being honest. It's a challenge. Sometimes my husband who loves me, he just watches me while I try to do math on my fingers as I count. And he laughs. And he's not laughing at me. He's just laughing at the whole situation as if like I'm some cute little kid trying to figure it out. And I'm glad that he looks at me that way and he's not irritated. Oh my God, this bitch. So like everybody has their struggle. Oh, hi. Everybody has their struggle. So let's say you're struggling. I can't get to the gym. I don't like vegetables. God, make me like vegetables. Why can't you get to the gym? Maybe you're asking, hey, give me the strength, the courage to get up and get out and get to the gym. Like, I need some help. I need something. And then what's going to happen is, like, you're going to get a phone call. You're going to get something from somebody that's going to want to be like your buddy, your gym buddy. And you're like, I don't want a friend. Did you ever stop and say, maybe that was God giving you something that you needed? Maybe what you asked for times 10, but it was something that you needed. I'm just saying. That's what I'm trying to make my connections here in this world. So our journaling question today, are there times when you find it easy to trust God? Why? Are there times when you find it hard to trust God? Why? So let's break that question down for all my non-Jesus people. Okay, for all my Christ curious folks out there, my people that are just kind of sitting there with their arms crossed, like, oh, this is so stupid. She's not really talking about God. She's talking about being a grown adult and doing the right thing. Whatever. Be your hater self. When you get to the question, are there times when you find it hard to trust God? You could write on there, I don't even know if I believe in God. And that's a journal entry. And it's okay that you write that. There's nothing wrong with being honest. There's nothing wrong with being honest. She said it. There's nothing wrong with being honest. If you don't even know if there really is a God, there's nothing wrong with being honest. Well, how could I possibly trust something that I don't believe? And if you start writing that out, I'm telling you, you start letting that pen flow, things are gonna come out of that question. Good and bad. So now let's jump into the people that are a little bit Christ curious. Are there times when you find it easy to trust God? Surely there are. Even if you're Christ curious, surely there are. I can trust God, but I don't trust the people of God. That's an honest statement. Then you answer the next question, why? People are shit. Okay. Expand on that. Right? Other times when you don't trust God. Yeah, I don't know, because I don't really understand, like, how am I trusting God? I guess I really just need to figure out if I'm like talking to him and getting answers back, right? These are good things, right? So now let's go to like a more Christian-y person. Are there times when you find it easy to trust God? Yes, when everything is going my way and I know I'm on the right path and it's not hard. Easy to trust God. Easy to trust God. This is exactly how I thought it was going to turn out, God. Oh! And this past Sunday, one of the ladies at church we kind of were talking about this, actually, even though we weren't talking about it in regards to being misidentified and self-identifying negatively versus positively, how God sees us. But it was just talking about the Holy Spirit living inside of us. But anyway, and she was like, yeah, when we were looking for a house, we were just really struggling to find the right house. It was good for our family, blah, 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 blah. And we found this house, and she was like, I just knew. So it was probably easy to trust God in that moment. Like, oh yeah, that's the perfect house. Perfect house. God said yes. Or at times you find it hard to trust God. Yes. It's hard to trust God. And here for me, so I have a job. I have an actual job. And I need that job because I like to eat. Tres leches. I don't know if you guys have heard. That's my new thing. Rockstars. Don't send me a bunch of tres leches though, because I might get over it at any moment. But right now, if you want to send me tres leches, you could, because I like them. Okay. Anyway, so I have a job. I got a job a couple years ago because of lots of reasons, but now I have a job. That's what I would say about it. I don't say where I work, because if I ever say anything negative about it, I don't want to be fired over it, because I like to eat. But I have a plan of what I want to do. I love helping women find like that thing inside of them, that joy, that purpose in life. Like, why am I here? What am I doing? I love working with women and helping them find the amazing things about them. And some of you I've got to work with, and you have found amazing things about you. I cannot tell you the amount of women who have quit their jobs after working with me because they're like, my job does suck. And And I know that there are some that are like, I just got to ride it out for the next couple of years, and then I get my big retirement, and then I can move on to this. I have so many ladies that have been in like shit relationship after shit relationship, and they work with me and they're like, holy shit, like I don't need to put up with that anymore. And I understand why I have that. And like, it's amazing. And God does that through me. I didn't do it. And that's what I want. But that's a long, slow road. And the money that gets made from that goes right back into it. There's no money being made. Every dollar that gets made from that goes right back into it to pay for all of the things, to acquire clients and for my education, and so I can grow and do better and all that kind of stuff, right? So I gotta have a job. And sometimes it's hard to trust God because I'm like, oh my God, this job is terrible. These people are anti-Christian. They are anti-white people. It's hard to work in a place that's anti-white when you're white. I imagine it's hard to work in an anti-black place when you're black. I imagine if you work for a company that doesn't like women and you're a woman, it's hard. And I imagine if you're a man and you want to work at Hooters, it's hard. So it's always hard. It has nothing to do with I will delete your comment if you make some stupid fucking comment about being white and working. Okay. I'm just saying this particular company is very anti-Christian and definitely not about really equality. And everyone you shop there anyway. And so, and I shop there, but it's a terrible job. But I'm like, okay, God, like, and when I first had opportunities, I went to some of my Christian friends and I was like, what do you think? Like, do you think this is the devil tempting me to get me away from helping women like really become fucking amazing? Or do you think this is God giving me an opportunity to provide for my family? Because like, honestly, like, I don't know. And they were both like, I think it's probably like, look at it like an opportunity to provide for your family. And I'm trying. Whoo, I'm trying. But man, these people, they're just terrible humans. It is more cutthroat and drama filled than if I worked for an ad company in the 60s. Ooh, that's my time. And I'm not here bitching and complaining to you. I'm giving you my devotional. I am being honest and raw with you right now. I'm not looking for your pity and your fucking pity. I'm being honest and raw with you right now. Are there times when I find it hard to trust God? Yes. Right now. And I also find it really hard to trust him that like I'm even qualified to try to help women be amazing and accepting what God has to say about them, even though I have so many women who have done this. Even though I get so many private messages from people, oh my God, like you've changed my life. I get text messages. I just quit my job. I get text messages. I just told this guy who was ugly to me, like to kiss off. Like, I mean, oh my God, I get so much positive energy coming to me because of things that I've done to help them. And I still wonder, like, yeah, but I mean, like, am I qualified to give out that advice? So yeah, I definitely do that. Everybody does that. Everybody doubts themselves because we're not. Hold on, let me go back to what it's. I talk so much, my mouse turned off. Trusting God from the bottom of my heart and don't figure it out on my own, and listen for God's voice in everything you do, everywhere you go. He will keep you on track. Do not assume you know it all. Run to God. Like, it's hard. It's hard. So as a Christian, that's like where I am. Personal share time. That's where I am. And based on where you are in your Christian faith, where are you? Is it hard for you to trust God because you don't even think there is a God? Nothing wrong with that. Are you in a place where you're just like, you're kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out? You're not really sure. Like, yeah, if I start to change and I start to like lean into God for something, then like I'm going to lose all these friends I have over here. Like, where are you at? Or are you like full-fledged in and you're just like, yeah, I just don't know if this is the right decision for me. Where are you at? That's your journal entry for the day. Don't write mine. I should just go listen to mine and then transcribe it and then print it and then slap it in my book. But I won't. I'll journal. And that's what I want you to do too. I want you to journal. So you just get out your journal. Here's the way it works. Oh, I'm over today. I'm so sorry. I'm going to do it really quick. Actually, I'm just going to show you yesterday's. Okay. So what you do is you write down the date. Okay, cool. So you just write down the date. I write down what we read, and then I write down the question. And then below it is where I do my little journaling part. So we're going to write down today's date, 2/7/22. We read Proverbs 3:5. Hold on, I can show it to you one more time. Proverbs is spelled like proverbs. We're proverbs. We're not anti-verbs. And 3:5. And then the question you're writing down, are there times when you find it easy to trust God? Why? Are there times when you find it hard to trust God? Why? So those are our two questions. And 3 minutes over. Every time. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for coming. And I'm going to do my journaling. And I will see you guys tomorrow. We're going to talk about amnesia. I can't remember. Who are you? Okay. Have a fantastic day, guys. And remember, if you want a sticker, not in the chat. If you want a sticker, you send me, just hover over my face. It's going to pop up, it'll pop up my name. It'll pop up if we're friends. If we're not friends, click friends. And then it'll pop up messages, and you just click the message button, and you send me your address, and I'll send you a sticker. Have a great day, guys. Bye. Oh, I got to get my mouse over here now.